Rosewood Estate Winery. That is where we are today, and it's a big day. It's release date. They're releasing 4 brand new wines, and joining me today is Ryan, who is the winemaker here at the estate. Thanks for joining us. It's my first time here.
Welcome.
I've had a beautiful experience, and I've been here maybe 5 minutes.
Excellent. Yeah, well, we try and cater the experience of Rosewood, a guest at Rosewood, uniquely to that individual. So we'll be talking in this segment about all the different experiences you can have when you come in here, and we kind of want, when you get the menu, to sit down at Rosewood to read almost like a playbill.
Oh, I love that.
You can choose your own experience. I was always a big fan of those books when I was young.
Choose your own adventure?
Yeah. And you could decide if you want to be inspired through simply wine, the surrounding property, you know, the food that Chef Wesley creates. You can take it, you don't have to have it, depending on how much you want, how much time you want to stay on the property. Enjoy the wines, hear from our great staff about the stories. Because ultimately what we're focusing on are story-driven wines
at Rosewood.
So I joined the team in 2016, and I'd always kind of looked at Rosewood as innovators from the beginning. So our founders, Eugene and Renata Roman, the family were beekeepers before winery owners, right? And so we started the vineyard. Beekeeping was always part of the project. William, our general manager, Eugene's and Renata's son, he's keeping bees along with his father, and we sell the honey at Rosewood. Yeah. But we also, they give some of the honey to me back in the cellar, and we get to make a product called mead with it. So mead is simply fermented honey. Yep. It's an overarching term. Within it, there are a bunch of different styles of mead. Okay. So mead
just like
blanc,
there are a bunch of different styles of grapes.
Exactly, yeah. So mead blanc is what's a style of mead that we call, it's called a piment. So it's a co-fermentation of Riesling with honey. So you end up, it's sort of like a hybrid of a wine mead product together. The freshness of a wine that you come to expect from Riesling and like the citrus fruit flavors, it's almost like what I always feel that it reminds me of Sprite when we taste it, but a very fresh spring, summer-driven product. You know, the dandelions are out. We release the mead blanc so that it's a taste of spring.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So this is the honey. This is the wine. Are we going to try it?
Yeah, we're going to try the mead blanc for sure. So this.
I've never had wine and honey. Wine with honey.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that Rosewood we can offer that is unique to the region.
It's definitely unique to the region. I wouldn't think that beekeeping is unique to the region, but having the mix of the two certainly adds a different element.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people assume that we keep the bees for the grapes, but grapes are actually self-pollinating. Yeah. We're practicing sort of integrated pest management at the farm, so we're planting things between the rows to help the bee populations to attract, so that we're not having to spray insecticides and things on the vineyard. Smart. So it's all about one living organism at Rosewood as the farm. I love that. So we're going to take a trip through the cellar and try some of the products, talk about each of the new releases individually, and meet up with Wesley, so you can get the full experience of what it is to visit Rosewood. All right, well, I'm looking forward to trying this. Cheers. This is new to me. Cheers. That is lovely.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, that is absolutely delicious. If you've never tried it, you need to come to Rosewood and pick up a new bottle. There are so many that we're going to be talking about today. All of that and much more coming up on Morning Live. Well, we've hit the tanks. We've given up on the bottle and we're going straight to the source, joining Ryan at Rosewood. And I didn't know that you could drink it right out of the tank.
Oh yeah,
I had no idea.
We managed to avoid the temptation to do that every day.
All the time.
It's sort of a quality control procedure where at this time of year, when the vines are dormant, we finish pruning, we're kind of waiting for everything to wake up, we turn our attention to the wines from previous years. Okay. So for example, we have a bottling run coming up at the end of May. This is Sauvignon Blanc that's going to go into bottle. And this is from the 2021 vintage. So this wine has spent a year aging, maturing. Now it's into tank and it kind of settles naturally so that you can see there's a little bit of cloudiness. It's not like the polished, finished wine you would see in a bottle as a consumer. So we're going to let this settle for the next month, and then we're going to take the clear wine off the sediment, we're going to bottle it, and then it'll be available later on this summer.
What happens to the sediment? Just curious.
Well, the sediment, the lees, we can actually, we collect them and keep them in smaller jars that we add to the younger wines.
Oh,
so essentially,
interesting.
we like to say that we're educating the younger wines with the yeast from the previous years.
That's so cool.
It's a technique that we use to try and keep some house style and also
Is
just
that
to
what
help
makes you guys
educate.
a little bit different?
One of the
I know
things-
you've got a couple
one
of
of the
techniques
things.
that makes you guys, different from the rest.
Yeah, I mean, we try and stay true to understanding the unique vintages that Niagara has every year. So when you try a wine from Rosewood from 2021 to 2022, we stay hands off by not adding yeast and lots of sulfur, tannins, and other additives so that we can get a true taste of what that vintage tastes like.
A lot of people have issue with tannins, so that's really good to hear.
Yeah, we try and keep everything open, and we'll discuss every facet of our winemaking process. We try and say that don't do anything to a wine or your vineyard that you're not willing to admit to your consumer. So we try and do everything with mindfulness and intention and explain why. So part of that is, we're shooting back here in the tanks where we're going through the process of the wines being developed.
Yep.
And part of that is, the good years and the bad years, the challenging years. So like
Yeah.
2021, the weather-wise,
year.
was a lot of rain,
Yeah.
really challenging. 22, a great year. So we're going to actually focus on the second wine that we're going to release today is the Flora Rosé. So the Flora is, we picked the grapes specifically for rosé. We kept them on the skins for about 4 or 5 days. And when the color was right, we gently pressed it and then fermented it just like a red wine. So the rosé we always release around the springtime. It's a taste, we have it lightly chilled or on its own. I like to drink rosé throughout the year, but it lends itself to a lot
Rosé all
of
day, baby.
That's right.
Rosé all day.
fresh summer dishes.
Yeah.
So this year we got the taste of, basically it's ocean spray cranberry cocktail in a glass.
I
It's
love that.
crunchy, fresh,
Yeah.
a little bit of sweetness to offset the acidity, and just to enjoy in your glass all year long.
Okay, well, coming up, I'm going to be joining Wes, the chef here, and we're going to try some treats and yet another different bottle of wine, and then we head to the cellar. So for now, I'm going to turn things back inside the studio. Wes is joining us now, who is the chef here at Rosewood. What's wine without cheese and vice versa, really?
Food and wine?
Yeah, they go together so perfectly. You've got a new bottle that you want to talk to us about?
Yes, so our PTG, we're just releasing today. And so it's Cab Franc, Gamay Noir, and Blau Frankish. So all grapes from this area. It's really light and fresh. This bottle sells really quick. So as soon as we release this, people come down.
It's gone.
It's gone really quick, and it's perfect for a cheese board.
Okay.
And it's a perfect food wine because it's that light, fresh, juicy red.
Goes with everything
It just
almost?
goes with everything. It sings. It's kind of like Ryan describes it, kind of like a pop song.
I love it.
It just fits. Yeah, it flows.
I love it. Okay, and of course, we've got lots of different food. I didn't know that you could use popcorn as a palate cleanser.
It's a great palate
never heard
cleanser
of that
because
before.
it doesn't really fill you up too much. And then we do our wildflower honey melted with butter, and then just that salty kick. It goes so well as we use it for tasting flights. So right in between every wine, brings you into the next.
Oh my gosh, that is so good.
It's tasty, right? It's just popcorn, but it can be.
That is not just popcorn.
Well, it's our honey. 3 generations, beekeepers. It's the accentuation of the terroir and a different way of looking at it than just wine. So honey is very, very much an expression of our terroir. So we have it with our popcorn, and then something we've been wanting to do here for years is a hot honey.
So honey that's very spicy.
Yeah, so we lacto ferment Scotch bonnet peppers,
Okay.
and so that's what gives it that really deep color. So the lacto fermentation helps preserve it.
Okay.
And it delineates a little bit of that heat that comes through without compromising the flavor. So you get
I
that
see.
beautiful, bright Scotch bonnet tropical flavors, and then mixed with our nice wildflower honey. Great on chicken, great with cheese boards. We kind of put it on everything.
Yeah, now I'm assuming you incorporate this into your food program.
We will be very much this summer, yeah.
Yeah, a little
Incorporate
bit
it to
about
everything.
that.
Yeah, so we have cheese boards right now into the spring. So for our cheese boards, I just had a great meeting with Shep down at Guns Hill Cheese. He's right outside of Woodstock. So
Local, love it.
local, really, really great guy. We rely on our suppliers a lot because there's beauty everywhere, and why not share it with them?
Yeah.
So this is his 5 brothers. He's one of 5 brothers, and he's a cheesemaker
Oh,
using
that's so cool.
the family's milk. So they're dairy farmers. And then we have a wine-stoked goat coming from Spain, and Belle Marie soft ripened brie coming from Quebec.
Okay, so this is what people can enjoy if they come here in the season.
Yeah, a little honeycomb. We
Yeah.
have courgettes that I
course.
pickled with turmeric coming from India when I was in my travels there. Some Palestinian dates, and then blueberries
course.
Big accentuation of my family. We're wild blueberry pickers up in Sudbury area.
Amazing.
So we have wild Sudbury blueberries made into a compote with our honey, and then lavender, which adorns our farm.
I love how you've got a personalized touch to it all.
Food is personal.
Yeah,
Wine
it's
is
very
personal.
cool. It's very cool and creative. All right, next we're going down into the cellar. Yep, that's right. We're going to go check out all the barrels. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us right here on Morning Live. So Ryan, you look like you're actually stealing wine from the barrel.
Yeah, while this is a wine thief, I assure you that it's simply quality control that we're doing here.
Okay.
Yeah, this device allows us to take wine from the barrel as a sample, just to assess the quality, how it's maturing, how it's aging, and decide when to take it out of barrel and get it ready for bottling.
And you eventually have to test all the barrels, correct?
Ultimately, it's great. Yeah, we are on the smaller side of things, so we can pay very close attention to each barrel. But normally, we're kind of just, we keep a spreadsheet of each wine, check in on an appropriate time throughout its lifespan or what our intentions are for it, and then the wine informs us when it's ready to.
How old is
be
this
bottled.
barrel that we just thieved from?
This barrel was from 2017. The wine in it, though, is only from last year. So this was really grapes as of October of last year. So this wine will stay in barrel for at least another 2 years before we decide to take it out.
Okay, so this is really just in the process of what we're just about to taste.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of refer to wine as like the ultimate slow food, right?
Yeah.
It's the long time. This is the cooking process. This is the aging process.
Patience makes it perfect.
And our final product is so dependent on our raw materials.
Yeah.
So that's why, winemaking is a very glamorous seeming job, but
Yeah, it
it's
totally is.
farming at the end of the day.
Now, this bottle is one of the new bottles as well.
Yes.
And this is, you're talking about raw materials. This is pretty much the raw, correct?
Yeah, so the name Low Fidelity comes from the idea that it's fairly unpolished. We didn't have to do too much work in the studio, so to speak, to refine it. It's from the vintage 2021. As I mentioned, that was a challenging year, but through not manipulating the products, sorting the fruit and care, you have a wine that is very unapologetically Rosewood. It's our style, it's reflective of the year. It's lighter, crisp, but a lot of crunchy, fresh fruit. And very versatile Pinot. You can drink it quite young, but also you can put it in your cellar for a couple of years to enjoy too.
What's your
for the
favorite
age.
part about being a winemaker?
Well, normally I tell people it's because I get to wear like a denim jacket and spit on the floor every day. Nobody really cares.
I've seen him do it twice, so he's not lying.
It's a beautiful marriage of a creative outlet and allowing a scientific mind to answer problems and piece together riddles.
Yeah.
So it allows me to kind of express myself creatively, but also satisfy that scientific question and
That
seeking
nerd side of
hypothesis.
you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
I
so.
love it.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for having us. We've had a really good time, and I have learned so much about how to steal wine using what's this called?
A wine thief.
A wine thief. This is so cool. All right, Rosewood Estates is where you have found us today, and thank you. Really
course.
enjoyed the experience.
My pleasure. Come back soon.